Hey y'all, this is a different edition of the Impact Radio Show presented by the Florida Star. This is the home edition because we have a very uh, under the weather producer slash moment guy, Reverend CJ. He has not been feeling himself at all today. So we are doing the show from the house. And, when we do the shows from the house, they're always a little bit fun, a little bit different. Hey, to my one listener, we are at the Hizzle today. We're at the house. Reverend CJ is a little under the weather. So I am doing the show from the home. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Thursday. A little bit of a rain scare happened today around town and in the area. So hopefully you weren't too impacted by the rain. But just to reiterate, this is the Impact Radio Show presented by the Florida Star. We are live on YouTube and we are live on Facebook. It's been a really big, impactful week. Seeing a lot of paper tags. So it looks like everybody who did their taxes on time got their taxes together. I'm happy to see that. Happy to hear about a lot of progress, a lot of changing, a lot of ebbing and flowing in and around town. Feel free to drop us a line on our YouTube page, on our Facebook. I can read it live. If you drop us a line, if you send a comment through Facebook or YouTube, I can see it and I can actually launch it. I can put it on the show. We are not live on the Victory Station today. We are home. This is the home edition. But shout out to DJ Will. He's actually back in the building on the Victory Station. So he should be playing some of the gospel best right now over our spot on WCGL 1360 AM, 94.7 FM. But this is Miss Do and Talk. I am sitting here reading about, I don't know if you're familiar in the Jacksonville area in particular, there is going to be a new program with the Public Works Division and the Solid Waste Division of Public Works, where there will be, some people have called them the recycling police, but there's going to be people looking in your trash. So listen carefully. If you live in the urban core, they said they're starting there first. So that's like inside MLK on down to like downtown over to, I believe, Riverside, Avondale, San Marco kind of area. They call that the urban core. They're going to start that first. So they're already doing that. They're already looking in your trash in those areas. And it's not like they're going to dump the whole recycling bin out, but they do open it on your collection day for the next 8 weeks. They'll be doing it in that area, and they're going to transfer, I believe, towards the south side of town and then work their way, I believe, north and then west, or west and then north. But someone will be coming, and it's in 8 months. In 8-week increments. A whole bunch of people, they got a grant. The Public Works Division got a grant to have somebody come and open your recycling and kind of grade it, right? So a couple of weeks ago, you should have received something in the mail, a little magnet about what should and should not be in your recycling. So that is what this is. This is the follow-up to that, right? Please, I hope you put that on your refrigerator like I did. I'm looking at it right now because I am at home. But if you did not put it on your refrigerator, they do have information at City Hall. So, and I've seen it with my own eyes on the first floor. That same magnet, I believe, is there, and another pamphlet about exactly what this program is. So for the next 7 or 6 weeks in the urban core, someone will be opening your recycling, looking in there and checking to see if you have the right things in there. Spoiler alert, the public divisions director, he said the most thing that they find contaminating your recycling is plastic bags. And I don't think people understand plastic bags cannot be recycled like anything else. Me and my family, we call them Winn-Dixie bags, all right? You may call them Pick-a-Save bags, you can call them Publix bags, whatever. You get them from everywhere, but we call them Winn-Dixie bags because we used to always go to Winn-Dixie. But whatever you call those little plastic bags, some people reuse them by making like smaller trash for maybe room trash bags. I know I often do that. I often store things in them. It's another way to recycle by reducing and reusing. But do not put those plastic bags in your recycling. They are not to be recycled that way. They could be recycled in those other ways that I said throughout your home. Some people use them to for packaging, so that instead of packaging peanuts, they can be used for that. But if you want to recycle them, if you look underneath your sink, which is where most people keep them for whatever reason, and you see a whole bunch of bags, and you're like, yo, I'm not going to use all of these bags, right? Or they're wet, or there's holes in them and you can't really use them for anything else. What you can do is take them to many major grocery stores. I know I've seen them in Publix. I know I've seen some at some Winn-Dixie locations, Harvey's, in the front of some of the Harvey's locations, and I don't think it's at like Aldi or Save-A-Lot, but that's also because they don't produce plastic bags as often. But most major, I think even Walmart might have some. Most major grocery stores will have a place in the front of the store for you to put your refuse, for you to put like newspaper, paper trash, for you to put aluminum trash. And they also have an opportunity for you to recycle your egg cartons, like styrofoam trash, and the plastic bags. There's a special place in the front of the grocery store or business that will have maybe a trash bag looking thing or a trash can looking place, but it is for the recycling of the plastic bags. Now, it's very difficult for me to remember to bring my tote bag, but this is happening in the city of Jacksonville. So if you live in the city area and you have recycling that you sit out every 2 weeks, understand for probably until the end of the year, there will be a roving team of people that will open up your recycling bin and check it and give you a grade. And I'm not sure if they're going to leave the items there for you to sort and then they'll come back in 2 weeks. I know the first infraction is yellow and the second one, I believe, is orange and red. And that's going to tell you how, the grade of your recycling. So please do not be alarmed by that. Do not shoot these people. They have been paid to do this. They are not the recycling police. I repeat, Public Works does not want you to call them the recycling police, but this is definitely happening in town. And this is what you'll get to know more about because you listen to a great radio station like the Victory Station and a great radio show like the Impact Radio Show, presented by the Florida Star. Guys, I can do my own ad breaks now. Ooh, ooh. We are up against an ad break, right? I'm going to play my lovely 2 advertisements for you, and then we will be back with some more headlines from the Florida Star and other things going on around town. You don't want to miss. Bye. Welcome back to the Impact Radio Show presented by the Florida Star. Guys, did you know we had an election? Word, word, word. CJ's over there listening to me have a mental breakdown. But we just had an election. And if you did not know, in the area of Duval, they voted in the first female mayor, Miss Donna Deegan. Those of you may remember her from the TV. She was an anchor for a very long time, and then she transitioned to help run one of the largest breast cancer um, runs or fundraising in this area. And that still goes on to this day. She's a community advocate and she joined the Democratic Party to run against Daniel Davis and become our mayor. And Daniel Davis, for whatever people can say about his campaign, he had an awesome concession speech. I look forward to still working with him and seeing what he has for the community, right? He's the leader of the Jacksonville Chamber of Commerce, so he definitely knows a thing or two about building community. But this is a historic. This is historic. We have been in the national news because of it. Donald Trump, former President Trump, remarked that if he had endorsed Mr. Daniel Davis, he possibly could have won the seat. And Donna Deegan has already been invited and been on MSNBC, which is a national news organization, to discuss her run and the historic nature of it. So we also it was a runoff election. So some of the stats came back, and we found out that typically during runoff elections, it's about 20% people show out. We had about 33% of the population show up for this election, which is another historic thing. Uh, Even though it's still pretty tragic that a third of the population decided what all of us are going to do. I like to reiterate that a third of the voting population determined what everybody was going to do. It is definitely still higher numbers than the past, and so I'm going to harp on the onwards and upwards and say that I'm excited to say that hopefully this is a furthering trend. But the truth of the matter is, um, we have a new female mayor elect, Donna Deegan, who is a Democrat. The last time we had a Democrat was Alvin Brown. We also have a new female property appraiser. There's never been a female to hold the position, never been a black person to hold the position. So we are so very thankful to Miss Joyce Morgan Danforth, who some might also know was a television personality. She was an anchor on TV for many years and then went to sit on our city council. She's also a part of a major power couple in the community. Richard Danforth, the leader, the president of the Urban League, is her mister. And we are just so very thankful that that sister is in the position. I remember when she first told me that she was going to run. It was over a year ago. And we were happy to see her. She came through to our church. She may have came through to your church and expressed her interest in running and what was going on. And we have finally made it to the end of this race. They had a runoff, and we're so very happy that Mrs. Joyce Morgan got her seat. Some other news for the listeners of the Impact Radio Show. Democrats are calling on the use of the 14th Amendment if negotiations with Congress fail. This is from Piero Shingari. A group of Democratic senators plan to urge President Joe Biden to avoid the 14th Amendment in order to address the debt ceiling crisis. A letter was circulated among Democrats in the Senate, indicating rising skepticism about the path of debt ceiling discussions as the June 1st deadline approaches, according to NBC News. The draft letter had been spearheaded by Senator Tina Smith from MN, as well as Senators Elizabeth Warren from MA, Jeff Merkley from OR, Ed Markley from MA, and Bernie Sanders. He's an independent. Sanders said in an interview on Wednesday that Congress cannot balance the budget by putting children, the elderly, and working families at risk of going hungry. We write to urgently request that you prepare to exercise your authority under the 14th Amendment of the Constitution, which clearly states the validity of the public debt of the United States shall not be questioned. Reads the draft letter obtained by NBC News. Guys, this is super huge because what the debt ceiling takes care of is our veterans, our elderly, our children. It's basically paying the debt. And when I hear political pundits get on and say it's just like a household, you got to balance your budget. It is not like a household. The United States government does not run like a household, nor should it. So it's very important that we discuss what's going on with the debt ceiling. And this is a cry for help. The Democrats are asking our president, Joseph Biden, to invoke the 14th Amendment, which would just basically null and void the fight. Now, the Republicans are saying that there needs to be some kind of concession, maybe some cutbacks. And I definitely agree that we can't just keep spending money without any warrant, without any understanding of what is going and where it's going. I agree with that, but I definitely don't think that we should default on our debt. Another big reason why the debt ceiling is important is because it will tumble into the international system, because the US dollar is the system of record for most banks internationally. It's definitely going to look bad if we quote unquote default on our debt using our currency. It's going to affect other people's debt in other countries. So it's super duper important that we pay attention to this story. Another quick news break story for the listeners of the Impact Radio station, or radio show, from Florida Star. A cease and desist letter was given give former President Donald Trump a warning over impersonating, right? The popularity of the Village People is still standing today with 4 letters, YMCA. But former President Donald Trump has been warned somebody can stop the music if the 45th president doesn't cease hiring the Village People impersonators to provide entertainment at his Mar-a-Lago party. The 1970s disco band manager Karen Willis, who also married to lead singer Victor Willis, sent Trump's legal team a cease and desist on Monday, requesting that Trump stop having a look-alike cover bands perform at the ex-president's events, according to Vanity Fair. The move comes after a video of performers singing Macho Man at Trump's Florida residence went viral, which Willis says is in violation of the Lanham Act, according to the publication. Quote, since that time, we have been inundated with social media posts about the imitation performance, which many fans and the public as well mistakenly believe to be that of the actual Village People, she wrote. Well, y'all, better tell your Uncle Donald Trump, stop using their music. They do not want you to use their music to publicize anything. They just don't want to be associated with you, man. Can you learn that lesson? All right, we are up against, just for continuity, another ad break. And when we get back, you guys are going to have a moment with me. Woo! Buckle up. This has been the Impact Radio Show, presented by the Florida Star. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Impact Radio Show presented by the Florida Star. Guys, don't forget to do business with a trailblazing, female owned, independent media company. Help preserve the legacy of Miss Clara McLaughlin by supporting the Florida Star today. Ask your favorite local businesses to carry current issues. More information at TheFloridastar.com. All right, guys, we don't have somebody with impact on the community. I don't have a guest. I don't have Reverend CJ to give you a moment, but I'm here, right? And I have moments, right? I have things I want to share, maybe, that you guys might be interested in learning about. Hey, if you're interested in submitting a story at any time during the week, a story to the newspaper or for the show, please contact me. Do and do and talk. Do underscore talk on all social media platforms. I'm also uh, ATANI at doindoc.com. You can also find a bald lady in African clothes with a lot of kids running around in various ages. That's probably me too. But I wanted to say that my moment is, hey, we're getting the school year's wrapping up. Half of the year's wrapping up. If you're a business owner, you understand the importance of May. We have got to start getting our lives in order. We've got to stop saying that, hey, we're going to try this, we're going to try this. Hey, it's long past January at this time. We happened to move into this house earlier this year in January. And we're halfway through the year, and I'm finally starting to feel like I live here. We're finally starting to put up the artwork. We're finally starting to, kind of settle in more and get the routine of how the house works. And it took a long time. It did. But it also took a concerted effort. You could ask my sister. One day she came in here on a Thursday to check on the kids while we're at the show. And the next following Sunday, I had a party, and she said, "This is not the same house I was in." All it took was my focus, a lot of energy, and getting everybody on board. So, my impact moment for you this week is let's get ready. All right. This dream stage we've been, this, oh, I'll do this, and oh, wouldn't this look nice here? Now is the time for action. The tax money has run out. All your friends have stopped partying. The vacations have slowed down. This is time for the really real, right? This is time for putting the gas in the car and making sure you make it happen. And I have faith in you. I know you can make it happen because I know I made it happen and I had no idea what I was doing. But we made time, we made a plan. That plan failed. We switched the plan. That one failed. We switched it again. But we have continued to press forward. And even though my sweetheart has been under the weather all day, and kids have been in and out of being under the weather all week, and we're pressing up against people really not caring about it being the end of the school year. We are just so happy to be here, and we're ready to tighten it up and move it forward. So much gratitude to you all for listening to me today, to our writers, me, and our producers, me. Thank you to our presenter sponsor. Today's presenter sponsor was definitely Do and Talk. Our partners can be the Florida Star and African Lady and African Gentleman, Kingdom Builders Group Initiative, and all of you that are supporting from afar. Special thanks to me for getting my life together, empowering through this show, guys. Thank you to listening, for you to listening to me today. Oh my goodness, I'm losing it at this moment. I'm also very thankful. Um, Happy birthday to who? Oh, happy birthday to Nene. Our oldest birthday is this weekend on 20th. And we are so thankful to have her. another shout to say, hopefully you enjoyed this relaxed version of the show. Hopefully you tuned in for a second. Tell us what you would like to see, what you would like to hear, different things that we can do on the show. This is very much a community effort. It's not just Vanessa talking into a computer, even though that's what it very much seems like right now. My name is Vanessa Davis. You can find me at do_and_talk on all major social media platforms. You can also email me at atani@doandtalk.com. Also, our distant producer, who is going to help me produce a nice bubble bath and maybe some food in a little bit, Reverend J Frederick. You can find him at African_gentleman, not gentleman, gentleman13 on Instagram. You can reach out to him at AfricanGentlemanJax@gmail.com, and you can talk to him about the Kingdom Builder stuff there, as well as sourcing African clothes for kings and kids. This has been the Impact Radio Show. I can't believe I did all 30 minutes. Now back to your regularly scheduled Thursday night. Peace.